we are going to study a new topic, that is graphs in Python. This is a topic being covered in CBSE syllabus in class 12th in Informatics Practices subject. There are many graphs which we can draw, like line graph, bar graph, uh, frequency chart, pie chart, box chart, scatter charts. But today in this video, we will discuss how to write down a Python program for drawing a bar graph. Let us start from a very simple code first. As you all know, for a simple bar graph, we need to have two axes, x-axis and y-axis. I am importing my libraries over here. Two libraries I'm using. One is a NumPy because I'm using a array function over here, and another one is Matplotlib, which is further being used for Pyplot for plotting a graph. For any kind of graph which I want to plot, I need to import this Pyplot library through Matplotlib. Okay. Now, my x-axis is nothing but a function which I'm using with the help of arrays np.arrange for. This will simply generate four values for me. Y-axis is some random four values for displaying the height of four bars, and then with the help of pp object, which is being defined here with the help of the library, I will say pp.bar xy. Now I can draw a line graph also, a pie graph also. But if I want to draw a bar graph, I will say pp.bar. And then both the axes, which are named here as x and y, so I'm using x and y over here. Let us run this program and see the output. As you can all see, that it's a simple bar graph which is showing the four heights of 20, 10, 30 and 50, but nothing is being displayed here. No label, no legends, no axis, no information as such is visible on this graph. So let us add a few more informations into it. First of all, let's have a problem statement, and accordingly with the help of this problem statement we'll try to draw a bar graph. In this question, there is some information given where a factory is manufacturing bed sheets weekly, and the production per week is given here in some numbers. So I'll be using one axis for giving these headings and another axis for deciding how many bed sheets are being manufactured per week. My first line import numpy as np, you can see I have made it as a comment because now I'm not using an array over here. Instead, I'm using two list now. As you can see in my first program, I had used array for x-axis and I had used a list for y-axis. But now I'm making a little change over here. I am using X as a list where within the list the items are nothing but the headings which I want to display on my x-axis, and y-axis is the values, that is the number of bed sheets being produced per week. So I do not need np.arrange function over here. That is why I've excluded my library also over here. I need to import only one library here. And then again, the next command is simply drawing up this paragraph. Let us execute this program and see the change. Okay. Now you can see that the headings are being given to my x-axis now, and y-axis is obviously showing me some figures with these are different heights. The first bar is having the height of 600, then 800, then 500, 700, then 300 and so on. But still no information is being displayed over here. Let us try to add a title to our graph. Okay. Now for adding the title to our graph, just add one more line into it, that is pp.title, and whatever title you want to give to your graph, just simply write it down in quotes. And here's the output. Weekly sale of bedsheet is now being added to my graph now. Now let's make a little more addition over here. You can see that I have added a new line character over here, that is a \n, which means now my heading of my bar graph will not be a single line heading. It will be a heading divided into two lines. So basically, weekly sale of bed sheets, March 2020. Now, quickly we will learn how to add labels, because what is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, it is still not clear from this axis, and what is 200, 400, 600. So let's make it more relevant and add labels to our graph. For adding x label to my x-axis, I will simply say pp dot x label, and then within the quotes I can say whatever label I want to give to my x-axis, simply for pp dot y label for adding a label to my y-axis. You can see here now both my axes are labeled now as per the requirement. Now we can have a few more changes into it. My whole graph is in simply one color now. What if I want to change the color of my bars? So what line I have to simply add over here? When I said pp dot bar xy, I can add one more key into it. That is one more argument I can say. Basically, earlier I was adding passing two arguments only to this function x and y, the two axes. Now I'm passing one more argument, that is color, and please notice here that the value is being passed in a square bracket. That is, it is a list. So I'm saying red. Any standard color which we use can be written here within the single quotes. I said red. So instead of by default blue graph, it will show me the color which I have written here. Now, what if I want to use multiple colors in my graph? So within the list, instead of writing one color, I can write down two colors or three colors. Now, what will be the change over here if I am using more than one color? You can see that the number of bar graphs in my diagram over here are five, but I'm using only one colors. So it will be in a consecutive sequence. For example, red, blue, and again it will start the list sequence in the same order. That means if I am using three colors over here, it will be red, blue, green, and again it will start from red and blue. See, that means I can, if I have five bars in my graph, I can allot the five colors over here by simply passing five colors in the list as a list items, and my graph is ready. Now, quickly, let us learn one more aspect of this bar graph. I can also change the width, the thickness of the bar according to my choice. For this, I have to add one more argument over here, that is width. My first argument was an x-axis, second argument was y-axis, then I gave one more argument as color and I defined the colors, and then I can pass one more argument as width is equal to 0.5. That means whatever is the actual width, reduce the width to 0.5 of that. That means now my bar graph will be of a thinner width. But can I give a different width to different bars? Yes, I can. The way we did different colors for different bars, we have passed different colors in the list. Simply the same way I can pass different width in a list again. You can see I have used a list and I'm passing five different values to the width. And now if I run my program, you can see each bar is having a different width. Now, what if I increase my value of my width more than one? What will happen? Basically, it will overlap with my next bar. You can see the thickness is changing now here. And if I say here also, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have given one extra value over here. Let's delete it. Now, these are five values: 0.5, 1.2, 1.5, 0.6, and 0.4. You can see that my bars are overlapping now. So if in any case you want to draw an overlapping bar graphs, you can exceed the width also. So that's all for this video today. Thank you and bye.